Hey guys, so I know it's been a long time coming, but this is the third installment of building your node empire. So at this point in time, thanks to the node setup we did in the last video, you should have gathered enough bird meat or chicken to turn into bird meat, and that should be helping to sustain these workers, and they should have been working non-stop. So at this point in time, you should have 7 workers in Velia, so you need all 7 before we go any further. Now, of these 7 workers, you want to be getting humans if you're going to be having downtime of around sort of 6 to 8 hours. Anything longer than that you want giants, and if you're able to play constantly you want goblins. Essentially that's the way that it works. I'm going to be switching over to purely humans. What you should have also done at this point in time is if you've got them up to level 20, you should have put them through their promotion test. So the promotion test, it takes 24 hours. Once it completes, you either get a upgraded worker or they stay at their current level. Now if any of your workers have got to level 20 and failed the test twice, you're just going to fire them and hire a new worker, level them up and go again. But essentially what we're looking for is to get all of these that are over level 20 up to professional, and then hopefully artisan further on, but professional for now will be all you need. And we want all 7 of them. From there we're now going to move on the nodes. So what you can see from the screen here is that I've taken out a lot of the nodes. So I've dropped things like the Ligaya farm and Finto farm, which were providing me with either chicken meat or wheat for beer. So what we're going to do is take those out, and we're going to just keep the 1 chicken meat production node at Batali farm. We're not going to need any more than this. You should already have a reasonable stockpile, and the chicken meat should continue to come in, and as long as you're cooking that off regularly, you shouldn't be running out of food. What we're now going to do though is switch over to production stuff. So we're looking for materials that are going to be used in various life skills, but most importantly it's going to be alchemy. So what we're going to do to begin with is switch to Coastal Cave, and in Coastal Cave we want to pick up both mining nodes. So this is iron and copper. You're going to need these later, so you want to get started on that. You're then going to come over and get Coastal Cliff, and at Coastal Cliff all you need is gathering. Now if you haven't discovered this place already, run over to roughly here on the map and there's an NPC that you can talk to, and it'll cost you about 10 energy in total and you'll be able to discover Coastal Cliff. Really simple. So we've still got Tuscany farm. Now you'll remember from the last video that we pick up Tuscany so that we can get the lodgings. This lodgings lets us have an extra worker in Velia and allows us to keep our residence in Velia itself that we can use as a cooking station. This isn't going to change. We're going to carry on using this moving forwards, so make sure that you pick up this area as well. We're then going to pick up Forest of Seclusion, but we're not going to take anything in this. We're just looking for the node to get us to Ancient Stone Chamber. From there you want the excavation. You're going to pick up the excavation. Now usually for excavations you have to go to the actual node and talk to them. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but usually things like specialist nodes you have to go and speak to them directly. But you want Ancient Stone Chamber. Then on the eastern side we're going to drop everything except for Forest of Plunder, and from here we're picking up Gathering. And then we're going to pick up Balanos Forest, and again gathering from Balanos Forest. So in total around Velia you're going to have 7 workable nodes, which means all 7 of your workers should be on these nodes 100% of the time, non-stop, and filling up your inventory in Velia. That covers the first area. That's the main setup of the initial area. From there we're then going to come down to Heidel, and we're going to start picking up nodes around Heidel. So you're going to need to start the process again of coming into Heidel and getting workers. You want again to pick up either humans, goblins or giants, depending on how long you're going to be away from your computer for and how long you're able to leave it on for. But a couple of the key things to notice from here is you're going to go to Northern Guard Camp and you're just going to put contribution in. This is going to let you pop across here to Alejandro Farm, and from Alejandro Farm you want honey production and pumpkin farming. Then you want Lynch Farm Ruins, and again you're just going to pick up the Gathering. It's the only thing at Lynch, but you want that one. We're then going to come right the way across to the east. You're going to have to pick up Eastern Border so that you can get to Camasylvia Temple and pick up the Gathering at Camasylvia too. The next node that we have down from there is Moretti Plantation, and at Moretti Plantation we're going to pick up the wheat farming. Now there are 2 others that we're going to use, but at this point in time you're probably going to be running thin on the ground with workers, or if you don't have a large CP pool you're going to be running out of CP at this point in time. So these are the key points to start in Heidel. Once we get to this point we've got a lot of the base materials we need to start leveling up life skills and progressing those. You're going to have alchemy materials, you're going to have extras for cooking, and you're going to be having timbers and things like your iron coming in. From down here at Moretti Plantation, you're going to be benefiting from picking up either the wheat farming or the flax farming. It's entirely up to you. If you want to switch out to flax farming, then you can pick that up, and from there you can start making costumes if you want to start making costumes for gathering or fishing costumes, for example. And in Heidel, to do that, there is actually a costume workshop, which is the costume mill here, and that's going to be more than enough for you to start doing these, either the silver embroidered gathering clothes or any of the other costumes, if you really want to be doing that. There was a lot of money to be made in those at the start. There probably isn't as much now because it's been flooded on the marketplace, but still, if you want to be getting those +5 gathering clothes or crafting clothes at all, then making them yourself is probably going to be one of the best ways to do that, rather than relying on buying them from the marketplace. What you're going to do next, though, before we go on to the next nodes, is continue to build your workers up in Heidel. So you want to hire those workers and you want to start leveling them up like you did in Velia. In preparation for the next video as well, you're going to want to pick up some workers in Glish and start getting those leveled, and then you're going to want to pick up some workers in Calfian and start getting those leveled as well. So Calfian and Glish are going to be the next two places that we start to build on the nodes around them. So if you haven't already got the CP for that, you need to start doing your dailies in Calfian or doing the main story quest on multiple characters. That's going to get you the CP that you need for the next steps. If you're already at this point, then you're just going to carry on banking the materials, keep processing them when you get the chance to AFK process, and keep them in your bank ready. You are going to need an absolute ton of these in future. But that's all we've got up to now, so that's the end of the third episode on this node empire that we're building. We are going to start to turn this into a lot of money very shortly. If you've got any questions, as always, leave them in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. There'll be a lot more videos coming out this week.